This is the BLACK+DECKER 0.9 cubic feet portable washing machine, 6.6 pounds, capacity, model BPWM09W, in white. After spending some time with it, I thought it might be helpful to share what I've noticed so far. This is a small top-loading washer made for places that do not have regular washer hookups. I've been using it with a standard sink faucet and a regular grounded wall outlet. It takes up much less room than a full-size machine, so it makes sense in an apartment, dorm room, RV, or any home with limited space. The washer is about 31 inches tall with the lid closed. It weighs around 44 pounds. I can move it, but I would not call it light. There are handles on the sides and 2 rollers at the back. The rollers work reasonably well on a hard floor. On carpet, moving it takes more effort. A small rolling cart would make that easier if I needed to store it after every load. Setup was simple, but I had to pay attention to the hose connections. The included adapter connects the inlet hose to a sink faucet. I screwed the adapter onto the faucet, attached the hose, and placed the drain hose in the sink. The whole process took me less than half an hour. I made sure the faucet adapter was straight and tight. When it was slightly crooked, I noticed a small drip. Some plumbers tape around the faucet threads help stop that. Faucet shapes and threads vary, so I would check compatibility before buying. This machine uses cold water only. There is no hot water inlet and no internal heater. The drain hose also needs to be secured. The pump pushes water out with enough force to move a loose hose. I attached mine to the faucet with a reusable strap. I would not leave it hanging loosely over the edge of the sink. That is a simple step, but it can prevent water from ending up on the floor. The controls are easy to understand. There are 5 wash settings: heavy, gentle, normal, rapid, and soak. There are also 3 water levels. The small digital display shows the selected settings and the remaining time. I did not need to keep checking the manual after learning the basic buttons. The 0.9 cubic foot tub holds up to 6.6 pounds of dry laundry. That number sounds a little abstract, so I found it more useful to think about actual loads. I could wash a few shirts, socks, and underwear together without a problem. I also tried 2 pairs of jeans in one load. 3 bath towels were manageable as well. A queen-size sheet set can fit, but I have to place it into the drum loosely. Thick blankets and large comforters are not a good match for this washer. When the load is too bulky or uneven, the machine may stop and try to correct the balance. I would use a larger washer for those items. The stainless steel tub does not have a tall center agitator. It uses an impeller at the bottom to move the water and clothing. I noticed fewer problems with sleeves and drawstrings getting wrapped around the middle. My everyday clothes came out clean, and the fabric did not look unusually stretched or twisted. I use a small amount of high-efficiency liquid detergent. This tub does not need much. When I used too much detergent, it created more suds than necessary and took longer to rinse out. About half the amount I would normally use in a larger washer has been enough for my small loads. The rapid setting has been useful for lightly worn clothes that I need soon. It completes the wash, rinse, and spin process in about 15 minutes, depending on the selected options. For jeans, towels, or clothing with more dirt, I use normal, heavy, or soak. I do not expect the short cycle to handle the same kind of dirt as the longer settings. The spin speed reaches 983 revolutions per minute. In my use, clothes come out damp rather than dripping wet. They still need to hang dry or go into a dryer, but the drying time is much shorter than it would be with a basic portable washer that has a weak spin cycle. The sound is noticeable, though not extreme. During washing, I can still have a conversation or watch something nearby. The spin cycle is louder, especially if the load is uneven. Adjusting the front leveling foot made a clear difference in vibration. I also heard a clacking sound while the machine was draining. It came from the drain pump turning on and off, and it did not affect operation. One concern I had was whether a small portable washer would clean well enough for regular use. For normal clothing, towels, and bedding that fit comfortably, I have been satisfied with the results. I would not compare its capacity to a full-size washer. The trade-off is that I can wash at home without permanent plumbing. Compared with basic portable washers I have used or seen, this one feels easier to manage because it handles the wash, rinse, and spin steps automatically. I do not have to move wet clothing from one tub to another. The clear lid also lets me check the load without opening the machine. The smaller capacity is the main limitation for me. Laundry has to be divided into several loads, especially if more than one person is using it. The power cord and hoses are also fairly short. The washer needs to stay close to a faucet, drain, and grounded outlet. I would measure the planned location before ordering it. I would also avoid using an extension cord. This machine runs on a standard 120-volt outlet, but a grounded wall connection is the safer choice. Since water is involved, I keep the plug and outlet area dry. The child lock and automatic shutoff are useful, but I still would not leave the washer running unattended during the early uses. I wanted to make sure the faucet connection stayed dry and the drain hose remained secure. Once I understood how everything behaved, daily use became straightforward. I think this washer is suited to one person or a couple with limited space. It also makes sense for someone who washes small loads often and does not have a dedicated laundry hookup. It is less suitable for a large household, heavy bedding, or anyone who wants to finish a full week of laundry in 1 or 2 loads. My relaxed recommendation is to consider it if space and plumbing are the main concerns, and if smaller loads fit the way I normally do laundry. I would just plan for cold water washing, secure both hoses, and avoid overloading the tub. If there is anything else you want to know about the BLACK+DECKER BPWM09W, leave a question in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more practical product reviews. Thank you for watching.